Remember, like Patrick said, what's debt to us is credit to them. They're never going to be in the real world.
Yes, but they do hold on to our birth inheritance when we die.
Yeah.
I believe it's a 999-year lease.
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's why they're killing us. That's why they have all these wars.
You've seen the revisions up there of this FBI warning and the more definitions on impersonation. To bring them up again here.
Well, I know they're doing all kinds of secret stuff on the Indian nations, that's for sure.
Forget the Indian nations, you're not an Indian, okay?
Right, I'm just saying they're doing secret stuff there. I don't have to forget about it.
Well, you're not part of it, so basically it's no concern of yours.
That's incorrect.
That is correct, okay? You got to take care of yourself first, okay?
Right.
You go out there and try and take care of everybody else, and you'll never help anybody,
Right.
okay? Because you'll still be in their system of controls.
Who's this?
You've got to free yourself first. Then you can help other people.
Who was speaking?
Who's speaking? This is Patrick.
Patrick, I thought we were all natives before you all came here.
We are basic earthlings, okay? We all come from the earth, okay? Let's just leave it at that, okay?
Okay.
All this other stuff is just garbage to try and divide and conquer, okay? And that's what they've done. They got the white man against the black man. They got the white and the black man against the red man. And then they got the white, black, and red against the yellow. I mean, come on, people. Wake up here. It's all about divide and conquer. But we are all one people, one spirit that came from the universal Big Bang.
Pretty much all it is to it, for real.
Yeah.
Man, right on, Patrick.
We just got different minerals that make up our bodies that basically come out in different colors. Different fat cells or different skinny cells, whatever.
John.
Never thought of that, Patrick.
Then when you put it...
That's all it is. I mean, basically, hell, you go out here in the whole universe, and basically there's going to be other aliens out here. They're going to look a lot different because their minerals came from a different planet. And basically, yeah, they're going to maybe look like all the people on Star Trek or in Star Wars. But they're still, the spirit is driving that vessel. And the spirits all look the same, except basically they don't all have the same knowledge or the same love and honor in the process. But that's all it is. Their harmonics are all screwed up. The bankers and all these attorneys and everything else. There's no love there. It's only greed and profit. That's what Jesus hated about them. Well, not really hated, but he just didn't love them for it. Yes, I had Tom post 2 new documents up there today. A new rev for my FBI warning, Rev 1. You can print that out It's a PDF. Print it out. Cut those little 10 deals up and hand those out to anybody that accosts you before you even say anything. Here, you better read this first before we go any further. Because they're the ones that are doing the copyright infringement. The warning goes out before you watch the movie. Okay? So give them the warning before you even say another damn thing out of your mouth and get yourself into trouble by sticking your foot in your mouth. That was in the front of every movie for a reason, to give you a hint of what's going on. And then this whole process is about Reconstruction, all the way back to Abraham Lincoln. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. Primarily, the 13th is the biggie in this process, that there shall be no indentured servitude. But they got us in under a fraudulent scenario to basically be a state that has been gone into insurrection. Yeah, when you look at this, I mean, basically, people listen to the talk show from that group, the other group, the Legal Descriptions Community Call. They had a call on Friday night, I think it was, and but they were going in, and well, you gotta get your name changed or something like that. So you got to go down to county court and basically do this name change process. And then basically they're acting like an ecclesiastical court. No, they aren't. They're not an ecclesiastical court. They're a governmental item. There's nothing ecclesiastical about them at all. You are more ecclesiastical as you are basically, if you open up that document that I sent you, okay, at Tom Post, up there about the impersonation, Rev 2 document, okay, and there's a movie out here called For the Love of the Game with Kevin Costner in it. He plays Billy Chappell, a pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, or Tigers, yeah, I guess the Lions are the football team. The Tigers. And basically, his last name's Chappell. Well, a chapel is a small church. A chaplain, the person who officiated in a chapel. A chaplain, C-Y, the office of a chaplain. In the Roman Catholic Church, it is an institution founded by an individual for the purpose of celebrating or causing to be celebrated annually a certain number of masses conforming to the will of the founder. You're the founder. You're the individual. The Roman Catholic Church ain't the God Almighty Church out here, okay? It's just another one, like the Baptist Church, like the Presbyterian Church, but they all derive themselves from the Church of Rome, okay? But you are an individual chapel unto yourself. And then you have control over, you have an ecclesiastical corporation, either sole or aggregate, the members composing which are all spiritual persons. Well, I think all of our damn EIN persons are spiritual. They're imaginary. They're floating around in space somewhere. We just haven't tracked them all down. Yeah, they're over here operating. They're over there operating. So with the baptismal certificate, now you have a court, a church court, that is basically given you, okay, by that blessing of your name, has blessed a copyright of your name already. You just have to put it into the public record. So if you're going to do anything, you go down and you have that baptismal record placed into the public governmental records. And then if you have a confirmation, okay? See, a baptism is done by the minister of a church. Confirmation is normally done by the bishop of the diocese for the church organization that you're in. Whether it's Lutheran, whether it's Catholic, whether, I don't know whether Presbyterians do that or not, or Baptists do that, okay? I don't know whether Jehovah's Witnesses do that. Some of them do comply to the 12-year rule. Some of them comply to the 7-year rule. The Catholic Church complies with all the rules. Communion at 7 years of age. That is basically the first fulfillment of a 7-year contract. 12 is the year when you basically have your right bestowed upon you by the bishop to take on a secondary person in commerce. You are given a secondary name. Now, we probably have to go to the bishops, okay, to the diocese and get a certificate of confirmation for that secondary name, and then we would deposit that into the public, governmental public records, claiming copyright of that name also. There was a Reconstruction Finance Corporation. Okay, this was set up back in the 1930s. Well, basically, they've taken that out of 15 U.S.C. 601 and sort of hidden it away. Well, where is it hidden at? Well, it just might be the Philadelphia Finance Center and the Kansas City Finance Center would be our Reconstruction Finance port of entry. Under our right of reconstruction, we surrender the one that is basically involved in the insurrection, and then we turn around and we get our birthing account reconstructed back to its original, the thing that was existing before that has lost its entity. Read that one statement there about reconstruction, a rebuilding, a complete rebuilding, the act of constructing again. We had our birthing account constructed at one time. Then it was torn apart by the Social Security account. So it's no longer a whole. We have to bring it back and repair it by rebuilding it. See, the answer is in the words. It's not in any of the codes out here. Please stay away from the codes. I listened to a guy the other night. That basically somebody sent me a link about this one guy that basically did a surrender. Well, he was doing a surrender under FM 20 or what the hell was it? FM 2710, which is basically the military land welfare document for the Geneva Convention. Yeah, the law of land welfare. Department of the Army. Well, that's total bullshit, okay? We're not under their control. This whole process has nothing to do with this system. Yeah, he got some remedy, but he didn't get any. He just got them to back away from him. But he didn't get anything else. The whole thing goes all the way back to that statute at large about the Treasury, going to the Secretary of the Treasury if you have a debt. Okay? You have receipts. You have to turn the receipts in, and then you claim the assets for those receipts. Then you put those into your estate. You don't go and write out a bill for $2 million and have it put into your estate account. You've got to have a debt to send into them. Then they can set it off. Then from there, you can build your estate up on your own. But do not use usury in the process. Because now you're competing with the damn bankers. And they will take you down. But if you stay in honor, you're staying as a neutral in the play of the banking world. So if anything you paid out of your back pocket, traffic tickets or whatever, you can turn around and put a claim in for the reimbursement of those funds because that property belongs to you. Now, on a bill, I went and got a stamp the other day from Staples, okay? It says guarantor on the top line. And then the second line is my Social Security number. And then the third line says credits released. Released is in all capital letters. That is what you have to do. You don't do accepted for value. You release the credits on the bill or the invoice that they send to you.
Is that credit release or released with a D, past tense? It sounds like it should be present tense.
I said credits released.
Okay.
ED.
Okay.
Read the damn definition. The word released is stamped or written across the face of a bill of lading. It signifies that the carrier is exempt from his common law liabilities as an insurer. You gave them a signature. That signature was essentially a letter of credit against your account, against your Social Security account. Now all you have to do is order the release of the credits and the bill is settled. You just gave them a letter of credit. You didn't give them the credits to settle the bill. So they're using the credits for hire, for profit, for their profit. Until you release the credits, the bill isn't going to be paid.
Holy shit.
Pretty goddamn simple.
Man, that's lovely, man.
And see, it's all in the definitions of the words. I've told you this. You guys got to go out and get a goddamn Bible and start, or a dictionary, and start looking at the damn thing. And stay away from all these other nitwits out here that have no goddamn idea whatsoever about what's really going on out here, and try and argue everything else in the process. I don't mean to raise my voice too much, but I speak with passion and love. And basically, when you're in love, you've got to shout it out to the world. Look these words over. There's only 3 pages of them, but there's very powerful shit in those 3 pages. They can't refute any of this stuff. When you know what the meanings of the words are, you can stand them down. And in some movies, there's 2 different warnings out there at the beginning of a movie. One talks about the piracy. Well, that's what they're doing. They're piracying our copyrighted vessel name and vessel. I saw that in one of Elvis Presley movies that I watched today. The remedy has been right in front of us. But people get so, well, I've got to have somebody tell me these things. I can't go and find them out for myself. You can. They're right there. They've been in front of you all along. They've been sitting in the damn dictionaries. And basically you were told from day one, you got to know the word. That statement is well over 2,000 years old. Surrender is an act of giving the control or use of something. In other words, it's the same as release to the one it is due. And you have to be restored to your full rights. That's under the restoration rule. They were operating under unjust enrichments. That's why you can come back after them for harm that they have caused to you. They are the wrongdoers, not us. You can take those FBI warnings and basically print out several of them. Put one in with every bill you send back. Give them, first thing, if a cop ever pulls you over, give it to him. But you need to get those fish and the cross and maybe a Bible stuck on the back of your vehicle and say, not for hire. I'm operating under the laws of Christ. In other words, you become a little chapel on wheels. Little ecclesiastical chapels. And a religion is nothing more than your beliefs in what is right and wrong. Stay away from all, I totally recommend staying away from all these fraudulent mind control organizations out here that are just there for profit, claiming to be a religious organization. Free individual religious organization. No, they're not. They're a mind control. They're MK Ultras. MK Ultra basically was originally coming out of the white Roman Catholic Church to control the people, because they've been doing it for thousands of years. But they're not the only ones. The Jehovah's Witnesses have done it. The Amish have done it over their people. The Mennonites, the same thing there. The only ones that basically had a little freedom were the Quakers. They tried to operate as individuals. At any time, one organization tries to control you, and then basically if you don't comply with their rules and regulations, they throw you out. Right there, you know something's wrong. Christ never threw anybody out for being different. He accepted people that were different. The whores, the prostitutes, the beggars, the people that were sick, you name it. But all these other ones now, boy, if you get into that situation, basically they don't want to have anything to do with you. They cast you off to the side. As a side note, anybody that's out here, if it has cancer or anything like that, they might look into the powers of frankincense oil. Frankincense was one of the three gifts that was given to Jesus at his birth. I knew there was something very powerful about it, and then when basically Harold sent me a link to it, I started looking at it and I said, shit, this thing, I knew it had more powers, just like gold has more powers than what is put out there about just being used for monetary value. As a commodity, it's got other properties. It's a noble metal.
Yeah, monatomic gold.
Yeah, then there's numerous other ones out there too.
Silver.
Silver too. Same thing. But I mean, they have more. You take them through the spectrum and you put them into a different harmonics. So the spectrum of light in the heating process, when it goes from yellow to red to blue to purple, whatever, basically it has different properties in each one of those because it's also resonating at a different harmonic frequency. And everything in this universe is operating on a harmonic frequency. Your body is operating on a harmonic frequency. And frankincense has a property that controls some of that harmonic frequencies. Females that have breast cancer, rub the frankincense oil on your breast, and basically you'll find out that basically it'll take that cancer away. You can go in and do a search on the site and check that all out. The drug companies are one of the biggest, besides the bankers and the insurance companies, to try and destroy this country.
Mm-hmm.
All for their own profit and gains. They don't care whether you get well. They'll try and prolong it as long as possible so that they can get a profit off of you. They're keeping you in a state of involuntary servitude to them. In a lot of cases, not allowing you to set off the bills by releasing the credits under fraudulent concealments. You can do your own document, okay, and then get it notarized by a public governmental notary. Now, it has been recognized by the government, okay? You don't have to go to the Secretary of State and have it authenticated. Your signature and basically a notary's signature as two witnesses basically is the authentication in the public realm. These other people talked all about this. Well, you got to do this. You got to do that. I have not seen any true remedy from them out there. One guy turned around and sent something in using the IRS forms, got $900,000 back. The IRS sent it to him. He turned around and divided it up, put it into his daughter and sons, into a trust fund for his daughter and son. Well, basically right now, him, his wife, the son and the daughter, and basically I don't know how many other people are involved, they're all in jail. They listen to some nitwit out there on the East Coast telling them to do this. Some of these other people are out here talking about doing a trust like the Kennedys do. Stay away from that shit. They're bankers to begin with. They're insiders. You can't do what the insiders are doing because they're protecting their own. You try and do what they're doing, and you're an outsider, and they will take you out. But if you do it properly as a private enterprise, a private bank, and act accordingly, they cannot touch you. Read that 14th Amendment. What the hell is it? Pull it back up here. Section 2 of the 14th Amendment. Okay? See, is that the one? No, Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution. All you have to do when you go into court have you taken an oath to support the Constitution? Yes or no? That's your question to them. If they have, and then if they harm you in this banking process, they shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States. And they are given aid and comfort to the enemies of the United States. You don't have to make this too complicated. The 14th Amendment never took any rights or powers away from the people. That's why I posted that one link up there about the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment that was written by the, let me see, where the hell is that? Was written by the, Temecula Constitution class. A lot of people think that it took our rights and powers away from it, but it didn't. You have to stand and basically know your powers that you have. You have to know who the fiction is, and that basically you allowed this to happen. But it was done under fraudulent concealment, so therefore it is void. You gave them a letter of credit. Now just give them the release and you're done. Now, if they continue to harm you after that, until you get this fully reconstructed back into your original birthing and inheritance estate, and they cause you harm, then you operate under that warning, that FBI warning. You also inform the Inspector Generals of the fraud that is being perpetrated against you as an American citizen. Per Chapter 249, 1868. Okay, now, anybody got any questions? Comments, rebuttals, proof that I'm wrong, proof that I'm right. Hell, anybody got any proof? Anybody got anything to say?
I got something to say, Patrick, about that.
Okay, say it.
About that court. Them ladies was talking about going to, they called it the probate court, didn't they? Isn't that the same as ecclesiastical? Is that the same?
No, it isn't. A probate court is not the same as an ecclesiastical court. An ecclesiastical court is basically a religious court. I posted a picture up there out of a Presbyterian church. Okay, I didn't use the Roman Catholic Church. They got the flags in there too. But you'll notice that even in the Presbyterian church, the ecclesiastical flag is higher than the United States flag. The Church of Rome flag flies higher than all other national flags. Maybe only an inch or two, but it's there. The cross stands higher than the eagle. And then, if you look at that picture, where the start of the flag is, basically it's about an inch or 2 inches higher on the one over the United States flag. You got to pick up on these little things that are sitting there looking you in the face. The United States flag only covers the governmental scenario. They don't cover the ecclesiastical, the spiritual side. Even though they try and set up these false spiritual entities, like the mortmain account, the dead man account, the living spirit always stands over the dead spirits.
I mean, man, you can really see how a lot of this was really our fault. And
yeah.
we deserve this ass when we get it.
Yeah, because we let somebody else tell us what to do.
That's right. And now, since they think you can't control your own mind or have some kind of moral standard or status, now they think that you won't be able to control yourself if you did get freed from this madness.
Yeah. You've got to stand up and show that you've got the power. I've got the responsibility for myself. I will take that on. I'm going to get out of your fraudulent system. I have the right to get out. You try and hold me in an indentured servitude, and basically I will take you down. And there's people out there waiting for us to call upon them to take them down. But they can't do it until we call upon them.
Who would those people be, Patrick?
What?
Who exactly is waiting for us to call upon them to take on the folks that aren't letting people out of the indentured servitude program?
Yes, they've been waiting for us for a long time. I even posted a couple pictures up there right in the movie Wizard of Oz. What does it say? Surrender, Dorothy. Dorothy's in all capital letters. Surrender your Social Security person over to them so that you can do a reconstruction back to your original inherent estate.
So Patrick, that reconstruction you're talking about is that putting the capstone down on the top of the pyramid? That's it placing itself on the top of it instead of just floating around like it is on the dollar bill. It's the same.
On the what?
I'm trying to say it or ask. It's the same analogy as the capstone on the dollar bill that's not been.
You forget about the dollar bill. Just think about what I just said, okay? Your Social Security person is basically a mortmain account. It's a dead man's account. Try and keep it simple, okay? Forget about everything that's on the damn dollar bill. We've gone over most of that in the past, okay? But now to get down to the very basics of this, all you need to do is order the liquidation and the removal of that person. Release the credits. Say here, I release all basically credits that are attached to any letter of credit that I put out there. You go in and basically get my mortmain account, bring it back, and I want to do a reconstruction for the Reconstruction Act and reconstruct my original birthing inheritance estate. I know how to operate it now. When I issue a letter of credit, I will also issue a check as a releasement for the credits that are attached to the letter of credit that I put out there. I'll stop them right there before it ever gets started.
So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a blank check on the other side then, since we don't know how much is in there.
You don't worry about how much is in the account, okay? That is no concern of yours. It's whatever you need to build your estate back up when you present them a debt, a bill, for the restitution of your living estate. You have a right against the inheritance estate to draw out. And then you build your own estate off to the side, your back pocket, your coffee can in the backyard. You go and buy something, you get the receipt. You turn around and you present it in and get paid out of your inheritance account. You get reimbursed.
So, Patrick,
you're breaking up quite a bit. I don't know whether you're on Skype or what you're on, but basically I can't hear you.
Okay. I'll call in.
Okay.
Patrick?
Yes.
I believe the gentleman before, the couple of gentlemen before were asking about the people that you said were waiting to help us. And I think that you were referring to the FBI, the Federal Banking Inspectors. Is that right, when you said there's others who are waiting for us to do this?
That is one organization, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The other one is at Kansas City and Philadelphia Finance Center, which basically is the modernization of the old what is it? Reconstruction Finance Corporation. See, the Reconstruction Finance Corporation is no longer there. So what do we have? We got the Kansas City and the Philadelphia Finance Centers. The word in the middle there, finance, in the middle of Reconstruction Finance Corporation. Basically, it's still the middle word in Kansas City or Philadelphia Finance Center.
So if we had issues, then we could possibly call them up and get clarification?
You can call them up, or you can send documents into them, but you have to establish that you need to come in under Reconstruction. You have to reconstruct your birthing estate, your inherent birthing estate, by surrendering your fraudulent, what the hell's it? Insurrection and rebellion Social Security account, Mortimain account.
All right, and that's what we're working on.
Yes, that's all what we're working on.
Excellent. Thank you, Pat.
And then see, basically with the baptismal certificate, that is coming from an ecclesiastical court, so basically that has our right of copyright protection over our name and over our vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically if you had a confirmation, and I've got to go to the diocese to see if I can get a certificate of confirmation from them for my other name, Patrick Paul Divine.
Oh, yes, I do have a confirmation, and I have my
see, you got a
First
secondary
Communion.
person. You got a secondary person in the process to operate in commerce.
Excellent.
Yeah, so and that basically was given to us by the bishop, a blessing by the bishop.
Yes, I remember it having to kiss his ring, and it didn't feel so good. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, basically you got blessed with the new name, okay? So now you have two names that you have copyright control over. by an ecclesiastical court authority. People don't know how powerful. I mean, basically, in these fraudulent banking courts, you could basically take a minister in there and put him right on the spot. Because basically, when he gave you baptism, he was supposed to be there to forgive your sins, your debts. He gave you a promise that he would aid in the forgiveness of your sins, original sins. So every mortgage that you sign, that's an original debt. See, as a little baby, you had no debts. So what original sins did you have when you were baptized? Nothing. It was for the ones to come into the future.
So, Patrick, this $2.5 million letter of credit we send into Philadelphia, that won't work right now? Or we can't add
right, it's not going to work until we do the reconstruction of that account.
Okay. So we have to give the Social Security first.
We have to basically do the surrender of that, okay?
Okay.
And basically get them to, and we come in under our right of reconstruction.
Okay.
And restitution rule. They have to basically give us restitution to a person of that of which he has been wrongfully deprived. Relief against the unjust enrichments of one person at the expense of another. That's what restitution is.
Yes.
Read the definitions that I had there. I tried to highlight these things to point them out to you people to see, hey, if I use this word and I use it in the proper connotation in my write-up, I've got them hands down.
Right. Well, we just got them. I have to read them thoroughly. And you're saying that when we send in a bill now, all we have to do is stamp it? We don't need any other documents with it, or should we have a cover letter?
I would stick one of those little warnings in there along with it. You can do a little write-up and say, basically, if this isn't resolved within the appropriate amount of time, I will take this to the FBI and to the other appropriate authorities and have charges filed against you, and if need be, also a court action against you for any further delay after the 5-day rule of $250,000 a day deprivation. See, that's what I added to that statement. I said, not only is the government going to charge $250 against you, but I will also charge you per day.
Okay.
Plaintiff indemnification per day of its fraudulent usage, $250,000.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. What does the FDIC got out there? $250,000 insurance policy.
Right, which they'll refill.
Patrick, what about this year of Jubilee?
Forget the Jubilee. You got to get this shit done yourself. Okay?
I was just asking what you thought about it.
I think it's a crock of bullshit. You don't know when the hell the first year started anyway. So how can you figure out when Jubilee is?
According to the Catholic newspaper, it started December 8th and ends November 20th, 16.
No. What year did it start?
According to the Pope, he's doing it this year. It started December 8th and it ends November 20th of 2016.
Okay, so subtract 15 from 50, and that leaves you 35. So then basically it started in 65? Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is...
Yes, that's what you're saying. If this is a Jubilee, it had to start... That year one had to be in 65 then.
49 years ago. Whatever it is from this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you have proof that that was the day of the Jubilee, that the last Jubilee was completed?
I don't. I'm just going by what the paper said.
I know. And see, that's fraudulent bullshit out there that gets people off sidetracked in the damn process.
Well, thanks for your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, basically, when did we go into debt?
In 33, when they went bankrupt.
No, you went into debt the day you basically they started taking that damn Social Security away from you. Okay? So when you turn 12 or whatever year that you signed that damn Social Security, that is your starting date. So I subtract 12 from 67, okay? So I already missed my Jubilee year. Because right now I would be in year 55. My Jubilee was 5 years ago.
So that means that all us old folks we done missed our Jubilee, so we can't access the Jubilee even if it was authentic, for lack of a better word.
Yes, you forget about the Jubilee.
Man, okay, Patrick.
Yeah, it's all bullshit. Okay. That is basically something that basically the Jews out there have tried to perpetrate in the process. Okay. It's bankers in that bullshit. But when you claim fraud, there is no statute of limitation upon fraud. Fraudulent concealment. All these government contracts you have, driver's license and everything else, they were done under fraudulent concealment. They never told you that they were going to enslave you, put you in involuntary servitude for hire and for profit for them. That's against the damn 13th Amendment. And did they take an oath to support the Constitution and its amendments? If they say yes, they took an oath, you don't need to see their oath. All you need to do is get them to commit, yes or no. Now they will be out of their job. And you can claim their bond in entirety. See how simple this is? That's why they're more scared of you in the process. If you know and understand the word. And stop believing all this other bullshit garbage that these people are putting out here. We don't do any IRS forms. Those are banking forms. I'm fully convinced of that. They have to use them. When we send in that release of credits, and I'm going to do that with the IRS. I'm just going to stamp the damn thing on here. Guarantor, release, and then I'm going to sign it as the individual banker, as the fiduciary. Fiduciary and individual banker over my guarantor. Now, if this isn't settled, I will turn around and file charges against you. Because anything after this point is now you're causing outright harm, slander, whatever. You don't have a contract with a third-party debt collector. Put one of those in with the bill when you send it back to the third-party debt collector and say, this is bullshit. I wouldn't have any problem in writing that on the damn thing. Said, I don't have a contract with you. This is total bullshit. And basically, I will see you in court in the process. And see, if somebody does take you into court, your first action is not to plead guilty or innocent in the process. You do a counter filing. We are the source out here, okay? Without us, they have nothing. And they've been harming us all along. It's only up to us to stop the bleeding of this country. You have to put the word out. Just like the deal about frankincense. You have to put the word out if you want to help your sister or whatever get rid of her breast cancer. Or whatever cancer she might have, or a little kid. There are several other remedies out here that basically are not drug-related, that are natural items to help against the cancers that these drug companies are perpetrating upon people. Most all the drugs that they put out, chemotherapy and everything, is all trying to continue the destroying of you for their benefit. They don't give a shit about whether you live or die, but they'll try and prolong it as long as possible so that they can make a profit off you. They don't care how much pain you go through or anything like that. In fact, boy, they jump up and down to see, boy, that person's in pain. Just look at all the sick horror movies and everything else about people getting joy out of somebody in pain. Okay, enough of that. Any other comments on what is going on here about these words or anything? Anybody looked at the documents to have any comments on them?
I have a question.
Speak up.
Are you saying that we are not debtors?
We are not debtors.
So therefore, if you use a service and you have a bill, that bill isn't due?
That bill is due, okay? You're not the debtor. Your guarantor, your fictional person, that basically you gave a letter of credit to them. They did not use your credits to set off the bill.
Interesting.
See, you've got to go in and read the definitions that I posted there, okay?
All right.
Let me just get to the one that basically points this out. Oh, I tried to go over that last time. Fraudulent assignment. An assignment to your SS person as the guarantor for the benefit of or the hiring and profits of the creditors, made with the intent to prevent the immediate application of the property to the payment. You gave an assignment when you signed the contract with the mortgage or whatever. Now, you assigned it to your SS person because he's holding the credits. Now, the credits did not go out of that account. See, the creditors, it didn't take the credits out because the order for release has not been given yet. The guarantor is a fiction. He can't order the release of the credits. You have to come in as the fiduciary for him and order the release of the credits. So the creditors are using those credits in bondage to write bonds and insurance policies and make a profit off of them. At the same time, they're holding a debt over your guarantor. You, as the original assigner, have to come in and order the release for your SS person, as he is the guarantor, and release the credits that you gave by a letter of credit, your signature, to them. Go in and read, and that was on basically, I think, page 1 of that impersonation, Rev 2. And then read what it says about the assignee and the assignee for the benefit of creditors, and then the assignor. You were the original assignor, but your fictional person became a secondary assignor over to them. That's why there's always 2 places on that mortgage contract. There's 2 assignments. But there is no release on those mortgage contracts. Release of credits. That's what's missing.
Does that apply to credit cards also?
Yes. You just have to go in and stamp that bill and say the credits are released. The credit card is not in your name. It's in your guarantor's name. They have $2 million in credits sitting there. And then you take that receipt, and when you pay the bill, then you get recompensated back for paying that bill.
But you got to pay it first.
Yes, you got to release the credits. Then you have a release of debt instrument that you can turn around and claim against your birthing inheritance. But you need to get your birthing inheritance straightened out by terminating that damn Social Security account and getting rid of all these damn fraudulent items out here.
Okay, so there's no UCC involved or anything?
No UCC involved or anything like that.
That's good.
So you need to have your baptismal, because you need to have that to protect yourself, as basically you have copyrighted your vessel and your name.
Well, I don't have my baptismal.
Well, you better go get one.
Go get it.
This is supposed to be a Christian country. Well, to be a Christian country, you have to believe in baptism in the process. Or else you're not a Christian. Yeah.
Okay. Could you just quickly reiterate the step-by-step process to terminating your account?
When you read and understand what's going on here, okay, when you get your document recorded in the county, your baptismal record, okay, then you can turn around and you're going to have to write up a letter to them that you're surrendering your Social Security vessel, and then you're going to turn around and demand a reconstruction of your initial birthing inheritance vessel. You're going to do a rebuilding of it. But read the definitions, and then basically you should be able to put the logic into play. It's not that hard. You got to think about this, okay? I'm not going to lay everything out here. I've done more than enough already.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
Other examples of Reconstruction, they always have Reconstruction acts like after the wars. And they're always, repairing nations back together. Just after the Civil War, they had Reconstruction.
Yes, and you are a state. You are a living estate vessel. Okay? You've got to reconstruct yourself and bring your mortmain account back home to you. That's been separated from you by insurrection. So you've got to rebuild the living from what was taken from you and placed into a dead man's account. Pretty simple, I think. You don't have to get overly wordy in the damn thing. Go ahead, what'd you say?
I have a question regarding Tom's question earlier to you. I just wanted to see if I understood what transpired, what you were telling him. Did I understand that you cannot send your birth certificate letter of credit in now until you liquidate? Is that what you guys were talking about?
You get a bill from the IRS. You get a bill from the credit card company. You get a bill from anybody. You have given them, by your signature, a letter of credit. Your mortmain person, your Social Security person, is holding the credits. All you have to do is put down guarantor, his number, his Social Security number, credits released. And then you sign it, date it as the individual banker, if you want to do that, or just as a fiduciary over him. Now, they will take that Social Security number and they will fill out the appropriate 1099-A and put it into the IRS and have those credits transferred to their account. You're out of the picture. You've done your job.
Okay, what about the birth certificate account, the $2.5 million? Can we still do that, or do we have to liquidate?
There is no value.
No, I'm talking about the letter of credit you posted earlier this month.
Okay, we can't get that until basically then, even when we go to the Treasury, to our inheritance account, we've got to come in like we want to buy a farm for $2 million. So we have to give them a debt instrument so that it can be set off against the account.
Okay, I got it.
We can't draw funds out. We turn our receipts in, and then we get reimbursed for what we've already paid for.
I see.
Now, when we close down the Social Security account, we will probably get some reimbursements out of that are being held there. We should get all the funds that we ever paid into that Social Security account back. We should get the initial $600 to $1 million back that was initially taken from our inheritance birthing account. Okay? So there'll be some funds coming back to us to basically put into our estate, living estate account.
Okay.
Okay? But forget about worrying about trying to get any cash out of them. You've got to turn receipts in and basically get the money back that way. And you send those into Kansas City or Philadelphia. And basically it's coming in under this Reconstruction Finance organization, which is the Reconstruction Finance Corporation, which is no longer there, but it's now called the Philadelphia or the Kansas City Finance Center. And then you can make reference to your your DD-214 account, or basically to your birth certificate account. And then you got to have your 98 series number when you put this in to reconstruct that, because the 98 series number is going to be the bank routing number, Treasury bank routing number, to route the funds out of your inheritance bank account or Treasury bank account.
I like what you're saying, Patrick. Now I'm missing one step. You get a credit card bill, you pay the bill. Then what do you send the credit card company in order to have it credited to you?
If you paid the bill out of your back pocket, it's paid, right?
Yeah.
Now, the next bill you get, basically you release it from the credits that basically you're sitting there. You just stamp it, guarantor, the Social Security number, credits released. Read the definition about released.
Okay.
And then, see, they're released, and you sign it as the fiduciary. See, that's what the whole thing has been missing. All of this bullshit about accepted for value, A for V, was wrong.
I see.
They should have done a release of credits, because you gave them a letter of credit to begin with. Everything out here is done by letters of credit.
So all you have to make then is just one payment.
No, you don't even have to make one payment.
Okay, got you. I understand that.
Yeah, all you have to do is release the credits that basically your Social Security. See, that credit card company has your Social Security account number right there.
That's right.
All you have to do is come in for the guarantor per that number and say credits released. And then sign it as a fiduciary.
Okay, would that also apply to any credit card canceled accounts?
Any what?
Any canceled accounts, credit card accounts, would that apply?
No, they're going to have to be liquidated, and you're going to have to turn those over to that financial center and let them go after any credits that they're still holding there under fraud.
Okay. Got you. Understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
Hey, Patrick,
Yeah.
I'm a little confused here. Then about a week ago, 10 days ago, we were putting these U.S. Treasury, IRS, SS Bank, and Trust letter of credit together with our the three account or our Social Security number, is the routing number, the account number, the Social Security number.
Forget it. Stop.
We
okay?
we went and had them notarized, and they're ready to go.
Stop. Okay. You got to do it this other way. Okay. It wasn't until the other day when this one guy told me about this one guy going to jail, getting a payment from the IRS for $900,000, and I got to thinking about it, and I said, yeah, now I can understand why they're in jail, because they did not give a bill to be set off.
But
you've got to have a bill. See, this goes all the way back to the very first volume of statutes at large, that if you had a debt, you were and the court did not process it for you, then you went to the Secretary of the Treasury and had him set off the debt. Okay? You need to read that and see that's what's going on here. Okay? You can't go in and try and get something out of the Treasury without having a debt to be set off.
Wasn't the credit card bill a debt to set off?
The credit card bill, you just stamp it, guarantor, your Social Security number, credits released, and send it back to the credit card company. They have to go through the IRS and get it set off from the credits that they're already holding.
Okay, back to the credit card company, and then they go to the IRS.
Yes, that's why I'm saying all those 1099s and all that shit belong to the banking system. I just went in the Staples the other day, and basically you had all these 1099 miscellaneous and different things sitting there. They didn't have any 1099As or Bs or Cs sitting there, but they had all these other things, but they're all to be used by corporations. They're not to be used by the individuals. Most of what is in Staples is for the businesses, for the corporations, not for the living people. That's why I said several months ago, basically, we don't do any IRS forms. I've even stopped basically trying to make a Form 56 and a W-8BN. That's their forms. We can put something similar to that, but we're not even going to do a substitute one in their format, because the substitute forms are basically for the corporations out there to make up these substitute forms that they send out to the people, or to the IRS, or to the corporation, other corporations. They're their banking forms. They're not ours. They're the banking forms for the world of the dead. We're the world of the living. See? You understand that? If not, I'll continue on and try and explain it a little more.
Please.
All we have to do, we gave a signature. Even when we set up that Social Security account, we gave a signature. We gave a letter of credit by that signature and that signature alone, transferring roughly $640,000 to $1 million of credits out of our inheritance birthing vessel. So we damaged our original birthing vessel because we took something away from it. That's why we're going to have to come in and do a reconstruction of that and rebuild it back to its original condition. When we terminate this insurrection Social Security account, they will come back in and plug up the hole. Huh?
That's where I'm hung up. That's terminating that Social Security account. That's where I'm hung up.
Why? You want to hang on to it?
No, I want to go through the process and do it right. I want to. Right now, it's all mixed up in my mind.
Well, that's what you need to sit down and read these words and understand the words, because. See, that's why you're mixed up in the mind, because you don't know the words. And you're wanting me to try and explain it over. You've got to see this, okay?
Okay. So when we know the words, we're putting together a cover letter or more or less an affidavit then?
Yes, you're going to put that together along with your birth certificate, basically, that I've got a template of that up there already. That you get notarized, and then you got your birth certificate, and then basically you put a letter together and state, use the words that basically I've got here: restitution, reconstruction, you name it. Okay, you've got to go through these 3 pages of words and know them, and then put them together.
Okay, and then what about the baptismal certificate? Where does that go along with this?
You put that in there because that is your copyright document. That you own that vessel.
Who are we sending this to then? Oh.
This is going to Kansas City Finance Center or Philadelphia Finance Center, the port of entry. Okay. You've got to bring that Social Security vessel back home. It's located down in Puerto Rico right now.
Then they'll notify us when it's reconstructed if we send this in there?
They will come and see your sweet ass. Okay? The men in black will be there. They are the morticians they will come to pick up all your other dead man accounts that you have laying around. That's why they're called the Men in Black, because they're the morticians to go after your mortemain dead men so that they can dig them up and bring them home and bury them in the proper cemetery.
And I'm going to the funeral with them.
No, you don't have to do a funeral. You let the dead bury the dead.
And if you
can stay at home and jump up and down for joy. Boy, I'm glad that goddamn guy is finally buried.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Have you done all these things you're professing?
Huh?
Have you done everything that you're
No, I haven't done everything. This is a work-as-you-go process. I try and keep you guys informed as I get the knowledge and understanding, okay?
Good.
But I do everything that I say eventually. Okay? That's where I differ from 99% of these other people out here. They don't want to do half this shit. They want to make a profit off of you, setting up trust or whatever.
Gotcha. So what have you been successful at?
Well, basically, I've been driving around for about the last 6 months with a damn private license plate on my car. Basically, on the back of my car, I've got not for hire. I've got also that I'm an foreign ambassador operating under the laws of Christ in the process. I've got a fish, and I got a cross, and I got a Bible stuck on the back of my vehicle. Of course, I got a vehicle that basically I try and stay a little stealth because it's white, and basically I sort of blend in, and they don't see that little vehicle slip in and out of things. I don't go driving down the road 100 miles an hour or anything like that to try and bring attention to myself.
So are you saying you...
I don't drink, so basically I'm not weaving all over the road.
So you don't have a driver's license then?
I don't have a driver's license. I don't have the vehicle registered or anything. So it's not a state vehicle. They can't claim that I'm driving their vehicle. And see, that's all that certificate of title is you're driving their vehicle, that they're the beneficial owner now.
I see.
You're the original owner, but they're the beneficial owner, and they're only allowing you to drive that for your benefit. At least that's what they're claiming.
So you can go down.
And then they want you to go out and get more insurance on top of what is already, that vehicle's already insured. You smash that vehicle up, you get a bill, what do? You send it into the damn treasury and have the debt paid.
So you're saying you can just go buy an old jalopy, not put a plate on it, not register it, and put not for hire on the plates, right?
No, that old vehicle has already been registered with the state.
Oh, because of the VIN. You're right.
Yeah, it's already been registered. So basically, you've got to get that clear title released from the state in the process. You're best off to go out and buy a brand new one and never register it, never pay the sales tax on the damn thing, because you don't owe any sales tax. That's a fraud in itself. See, when you get out of this system, okay, and you become a private enterprise, you can get a exemption from paying any state sales tax. You can also turn a claim in to get reimbursed for any sales tax that you paid with the state.
That's if you have receipts.
Yeah. So see, you're going to have to send a copy of the receipts one way and copy of the other way to get reimbursed and then put the funds back into your living estate. You got an inheritance estate that you can draw against.
Yeah, I have a $4,000 letter from California, which is not good.
The what?
The state of California, 15 years is saying I still owe $4,000 after 15 years.
Well, just say, guarantor, your Social Security number, credits released.
Okay.
And then sign it as a fiduciary and send it back to them. Put one of these little stickers in there about copyright infringement, the FBI warning.
Okay, I'm going to try.
Say if this isn't settled within the appropriate amount of time, then basically, and you try and cause me any further harm, I will basically file charges against you and get restitution of $250,000 per day of harm you're causing me.
Patrick, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I have the letter.
They will settle that thing in a heartbeat. You just showed you just tore their clothes off. They are stark naked now.
Okay, how about guarantor, Social Security number, credits released, and then it
guarantor.
What's that?
And then the number, the Social Security number.
Yeah.
Credits released.
Credits released.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if it's gone past the 30 days or not. Would that make a difference? No.
No.
Okay.
Basically, fraud, and basically you put that in there, and basically they've been operating under project concealment in the process here.
Who?
They've been using your credits, okay? You signed up, and so you had a voter registration card or something like that. They used your credits in the process, but they never took the credits out of the account to set off the debt that was created.
Okay.
That's trying to get you to pay out of your back pocket. You've already got the credits there. Just release them.
Okay, so you're saying that they know what they're doing, and I don't. So they're chancing that I'm going to fall into their bullshit and still pay.
You're not going to fall into their bullshit and still pay. You're done. It's set off.
All right.
It's a done deal.
Well, I got the letter. I'm going to do exactly what you said. I'm going to find out your...
They have no money. All you have to do is release the credits. That's all they're operating on is credits out here.
Okay.
And it's fraud by concealment because there's no full disclosure when they got you to contract with them originally.
Right. You need to read, and see, I put a PDF up there, but it has 10 little cards on it. So you print that PDF out. It doesn't have anybody's name on it or any numbers or anything like that. It's just a warning, like at the beginning of every goddamn movie out there.
When you put the Social Security number down, were you putting dashes in or no dashes?
You put the dashes in.
What does it mean, dashes and no dashes?
No dashes means there's no separation between the first three numbers and the second two numbers. You put the dashes in because that is a bank routing number.
Gotcha. Now,
yeah.
How about
Social Security number is a bank routing number. It's got two dashes in it, so it can either deposit credits in or it can take credits out.
Okay, so I don't need to put that red number with the letter in front on the Social Security card. Okay.
No.
Okay.
They're using your Social Security number. Okay.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do what you say here, Patrick. And when will I get any notification from them that everything's being taken care of?
You may or may not. They don't want to put the word out that you did something right.
Okay. Well,
I mean, think about it.
I'm going to do it.
If they told you that you did something right, you'd tell your neighbor, hey, look at this. And you always keep a copy of what you did, okay, when you send this in.
Right. Okay.
And then basically, so you have that as your court action in if they continue to harm you. And you will take that into an Admiralty court at the federal level.
Okay, now, I send the letter in, make a copy. I'm going to send the same exact letter in and just write on the form, and make a copy, make a couple of copies, send it in.
You scan a copy and keep it in your database, your stick file, so it's already time-stamped when you save that copy.
Okay, well, I was going to send it out express mail and certified return receipt, and like the IRS does, important stuff, they always certify it, return receipt, right?
You can go that route if you want to pay for the extra, because you're going to turn around, you're going to take that receipt from the post office and turn around and submit a claim for that payment that you had to make to do that.
Right. Now, I won't see any of that $4,000 then, you're saying. I'm just getting it written off.
Right.
Okay. That sounds good. I'm going to send that in. And now if I end up in jail, I'm going to send my...
You're not going to end up in jail, see? That's the
I'm
thing.
I'm going to send my men in black after you.
They can't put you in jail for doing the right thing.
Okay.
Read the definitions and understand that it's right here in the dictionaries telling you the right way to do things. It's not in the codes. The codes are going to mislead you. Okay, that's their document. The dictionaries have been trying to tell people what the words are, so when you know the word, you now know the law.
Well, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I'm going to do it forthwith after the 1st. I'm going to do it in January. And
I do it tomorrow. Just get out a red pen, write guarantor, your Social Security number, credits released. And when you write released, make it all capital.
Well, now,
and then sign in blue the date and your signature, and basically as the fiduciary over that guarantor. Guarantor's fiduciary.
Okay, so we got a red, white, and blue thing here. We got a red, white, and blue thing here. We got guarantor and the Social Security and credits released, right? Or released.
Yeah, that'll be in red.
In red. On white paper with a blue signature.
You just put it across the bill that they send you. Read the definition about released. It has to go on the invoice, the bill.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on. But what I'm saying is we got a red, white, and blue situation here.
Well,
it's on white paper, red ink, and blue ink, right? It has to be in blue, my signature. It can't be black.
If you want to make it, I don't give a shit, okay?
All right.
Should the word credit be...
You guys try and make this so goddamn complicated. That's what the problem is out here. You want to try and... You don't want to do something that basically is so damn obvious. You want to try and make up your own damn rules and regulations.
No, you're not meant to. You come up with red, then you said blue. I'm saying, let me just verify. Nothing wrong with verification.
Right.
Patrick, that's not fair because this is all new to us, and we're trying to follow your thinking, and sometimes we need to hear something that's brand new several times. So we want to get it right.
Then. That's the problem. You haven't read the definitions.
Patrick, when you release the credits, are we releasing negative credits like we were just talking about?
You don't even have to put the value down. That's the beauty of this. All you have to do is say the credits are released. The credits are already identified on the bill.
They won't be able to put any additional credits over and above in your bank account?
Basically just get rid of the damn thing.
I love this. This is cool.
Then you don't have to pay anything out of your back pocket. Now you've got extra funds sitting there. Like I told you, you already got like the FDIC, $250,000. You can do a letter of credit against that and deposit that $250,000 FDIC credits into your checking account.
When? With what I'm doing with that letter?
You can turn around and do that with the bank.
I love it.
Write a statement up against the FDIC. Say, hey, I'm taking these credits that are sitting over here and moving them over here. You're saying my account's backed up with $250,000 of credit. I want them in here now.
Okay, Patrick. Let me just get some verification here. Tom, is this okay to do? Are you there, Tom?
I tried to explain this before on the account. That's why people were getting closed checks processed, because they see there was still $250,000 of credits sitting there after you close the checking account down.
Now, we need to do a letter of that $250,000.
You're breaking up, Tom.
I'll have to call in again. So,
Patrick.
Yeah.
So you saying that, like, check it out, I can go down to my bank right now and tell them to switch those FDIC credits over to my banking account?
You're going to have to write up an instrument and have it deposited use a deposit slip and deposit it into your account. You endorse the back of that instrument, ordering the transfer of those FDIC credits into your account. Call up the FDIC and say, hey, I want those credits.
How does the bank know how many credits you're getting that's going into your account?
You're right. Whatever you want. I want 100,000 of this 250,000 insurance policy, FDIC insurance policy, deposited into my account tomorrow. They will go after your Social Security account and pull another 100,000 out of your Social Security account and still maintain a $250,000 credit line there for you.
Well, I think I got about $100 million or more in there, closer to.
Well, you don't need to even worry about that, okay?
Yeah.
That will all be straightened out in the wash when you do the reconstruction.
Okay, let me get this right. I take in a deposit slip, and I tell them I want.
Do you have any money in your account right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Why do you need to worry about anything else right now? Okay, get this other shit going. Get those other bills set off. Then you don't have to pay anything out of your bank account.
Wonderful.
Okay, take care of that first. Then come back and talk to me about it afterwards.
Okay, one more thing then. Could I do that with a cable bill without having a cable cut off?
Yes, they're your credit.
You can always go and get another cable company.
Okay, you're not sure about that. But I'll try it. Go ahead.
Hello?
If they cut it off, basically put that thing in there, that basically you will come after them because they have to supply public service. Put a statement in there. They can't shut that off if you're paying the bill.
Yeah, I've been paying the bill, but in order.
No, if you're releasing the credits, you're paying the bill.
Yeah.
Okay? They are a public utility company. They are licensed by the state banking system. They are basically bankers in the process.
Well, I'm not going to do it with the electric bill, though. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That is one easy one right there.
Oh, you've done that.
People have done that one already. People have done the water company already.
Really?
Yes. Victoria Joy, years ago, was so damn close in this process, but then she got involved into doing several other things out here, being misguided in the process. But she initially got things set off by doing some things along this line.
Interesting.
Of course, now she's not around anymore. Tried to give her best and her all to the process here, and basically it just wore her down. There's been quite a few good people that have died over the last 8 to 10 years that were honest and loved trying to help people. But the people that they tried to help basically didn't give anything back in return. They just absorbed and took from those people and never helped them in the process.
Well, you have a donation button, right?
Huh?
You have a donation button, right?
No. The only thing I basically had out there was basically if somebody wanted a bunch of my files, I would put them out there on a stick file and send them back to them, okay? In several cases, I turned around and bought a bigger stick because I needed about 16 gig stick to send them back to the people. Okay, so basically it takes a couple hours to download 16 gigs of data. And basically I gave you a bunch of movies and everything else. So basically if the FBI wants to come after me for copyright infringement, but see, they can't come after me about copyright infringement because basically we paid for all these damn movies out here. We funded them.
And Patrick, if I may add, to the man that was just asking about the donation button, he hasn't asked for anything. I've been on the calls off and on over several years now, and I don't recall him asking for anything, but certainly I'm sure it's appreciated.
Oh, no, I understand that. I understand. I know. I've read his blurb. You know, that's no problem.
Right.
I think you should ask for more, but
all right. Well,
yeah, basically, if you wanted to put a value on all these documents and everything that I've done, basically, I used to get paid around in my heyday about $150,000 to $200,000 a year to write startup procedures for nuclear power plants. So basically, I guess half the damn documents for a year. Basically, I should be getting that amount.
Well, I don't know, but you know, there's a guy in Las Vegas that charges $10,000 an hour for business advice, so he must be giving some very good business advice.
Oh yeah, well, go and see what Winston charges. Go see what some of these other people charge for setting up some of these trusts and everything out here. $1,500. So I'll give you a break until the first of the year. $750.
I have a
bet you the thing still ain't worth a shit. It's going to get people into trouble down the road.
Yep.
Hello?
I tried to explain that to people, that basically the state can come in after any trust out there if they want to, especially if you are not an insider. You're not a Kennedy. You're not a Vanderbilt. You're not one of the damn elite that lives out on what the hell is that? Martha's Vineyard. Kissing ass out there. You better be a good ass kisser if you want to have that trust. And then, basically, what you're doing, you're violating the very law that Jesus laid down. Tempt not the Lord thy God. You never put another person in charge as a trustee over your trust.
Amen.
Amen. Because it won't be there. It's like you give a guy a gold coin and say, I'll pick it back up from you in 2 weeks. Well, basically, he's going to, in about 2 or 3 days, going to say, well, he's not coming back for 2 or 3 weeks to get this, so basically I can utilize it in the meantime. So they go out and think, well, I'm going to make a profit on this, and they still have the gold coin back to give it to him when he comes back after. Well, basically, things go against him, and basically that's the way it always works out, and then you don't have the gold coin to give back to him.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, on the baptismal certificate, does it matter if it's written in black?
No.
Magic marker?
No.
Okay.
Does have to be a valid church recording, so they've got to have that in their church records.
Yes, they did, and they enrolled there too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Confirmation won't help.
Confirmation is basically a step up from the baptismal record.
So that'll work then.
Huh?
That'll work.
You've got to have the baptismal record, and then you've got to have the confirmation. See, the confirmation, like in the Roman Catholic Church, is giving you a secondary name, another person to operate with, another copyrighted name to operate in commerce.
Does that work with Baptists also?
Well, if they have confirmation.
Okay.
The only one that I know for sure that has confirmation is basically the Roman Catholic Church.
Okay.
And Lutheran Church, I think they do too. They're pretty similar to the Roman Catholic Church in their process. Now, the Presbyterians and the Methodists and the Jehovah's Witnesses and the the Amish and all those people, I don't know whether they do all the different processes. Like Jesus basically had to go to the temple when he was 12 years old. So he had the initial blessing, when he was born, and then he had the secondary blessing when he was 12 years old. And then basically he had his public baptism recording with John the Baptist.
What happened to those 8 years?
Well, basically, he was down in Egypt. They're studying in the Library of Alexandria. That's why he knew how to read Latin, Greek, and Roman, and all several different Aramaic, different languages. His father was an engineer. There's a lot more to the story about him than basically you just reading the Bible. His uncle was a shipping magnate, sort of like Onassis. Basically, he was running ships across the Atlantic Ocean. He was running ships from England down to Rome, bringing tin down there.
Is Tom back?
Huh?
Has Tom called in?
I don't know. Tom,
No,
you back on the line?
I'm here, but I'm Skype.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask you, Tom. What do you think? Can you advise whether it's okay to do this? I'll make the final decision, but Patrick's making an offer to do it.
You make up your own mind. I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
Yes.
Wonderful. I'll do it myself.
Don't do it just because somebody else is doing it.
Oh, no.
Do it because you feel it is right in your gut, okay?
Yeah.
I watched a Christmas movie here the other day, okay? About this one woman, basically was a news reporter. Basically, she said that basically she operated by inspiration, okay? Well, basically towards the end of the movie, it wasn't inspiration. It was by love of the heart. That basically she found her true goal in her life. Not by inspiration. That's what she's been operating with. And see, that's what most people out here operate on inspiration to well, basically this person is doing it, so I'm going to be inspired to do it the same way he's doing it. Not from love, not from understanding, but just because somebody else is doing it. You've got to do it because you know it's right. Then you love yourself in the process because now you're doing it for love. Watch some of these Hallmark Christmas stories. You'll find some good pointers in them.
I agree.
Huh?
I agree with that. I watched many of them.
Okay. Well, look for the byline. Look for the story. Look for the moral of the story. And you'll find out a lot more than what you've been missing.
Now, when you get your birth certificate, does it matter if it comes from City Hall or from Vital Statistics?
Basically, they're coming both under the Bureau of Vital Statistics and under the state seal, even though it might come from the county or from the state. They both are coming out on a state seal and a Bureau of Statistics seal on that document. It's a banknote document.
I just noticed that both one is on bond paper and the other one's on copy paper.
Well, basically, it all depends on when you got those, but almost all of them nowadays, after about probably about 20 years ago, basically most all of them have been coming out on bonded note paper.
Okay.
I've got about 5 different varieties of mine, okay, starting all the way back from my original one, back in 1949.
Okay. Also, it's in upper and lowercase.
Yeah.
Like my children's are all uppercase, but mine is upper and lower.
Well, see, they're trying to throw you off, and basically they put those on there, but basically that name still belongs to you when you have your baptismal certificate. That's why you even own that mortmain, all capital Social Security name. It's a deviation. That's what is the document. The first word for that document, impersonation. Read the definition about impersonation.
Okay. So
okay.
I should be able to take my upper and lower case to Social Security and have them corrected from all caps.
You don't need to worry about trying to go and correct anything. Okay? You've got it.
Okay.
Just utilize it the way it is. And until you get into sending all your documents into the Reconstruction Financial Service Center there in Kansas City or Philadelphia as the port of entry to bring your Social Security mortmain vessel home. They will send out the morticians and dig him up and bring him home.
And also you said to capitalize credit released, right?
For a bill, you do a guarantor with your Social Security number and say credits released on any bill you have. And then sign and date it as the fiduciary.
Okay. Credits released.
Credits released. Released is in all capital letters.
Okay. Released is it all. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Patrick, if a bank wants to take you to court because of a delinquent debt, can you take them to Admiralty court and you file a counterclaim.
You take the bill. You say, hey, send me a final payment bill. And then you stamp this on there and send it back to them. Release the credits.
Okay.
They've already got the credits.
But if you were going to court for any other reason...
Why would you go to court? You settle this, like Paul said, you settle this before court ever comes about. And all you have to do is release the credits. The thing that they never told you how to do. You gave them a letter of credit, now release the goddamn credits. Pretty simple. They've been out there using the credits all along for hire and for profit. They never told you. That's the fraudulent concealment, that they're going to use your credits until you release them. So they're making a profit off of you because you haven't released the credits. That's why the insurance companies keep getting bigger and the banks keep getting bigger, because we're allowing them to continue to hire out and make a profit off our damn credits.
Patrick, that would go for the same as for a property tax bill as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They took your house and basically used it, the value of that house. Okay? That house has credit value.
I'm just talking about acreage, property acreage in the country.
Same thing. You have a certificate of title, don't you?
No, sir, I don't. All I have is a warranty deed.
You don't? You have what?
Just a warranty deed. A warranty deed.
A warranty deed? But it's a state warranty deed, right?
Sure.
It's under the state name, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they're using that as collateral to write and make a profit off of that property.
Okay.
The credits are there.
Okay. Well, I tried to update my update my patent partial, and so I sent in registered mail to the clerk to update it. I did an affidavit to update it, and all this, sent her the money. She kept my affidavit and said she's sending it to the DA. She sent my money back, and she didn't send my documents back. And so I sent her a letter telling her she stole my documents. She needs to send them back, and plus my pre-postage money that I sent her to send them back, and she's ignoring me.
Yeah, because basically they've got legal people in the background knowing that you didn't do it right. But they're not going to tell you didn't do it right.
But
right now you just set off those charges, okay? Then you can turn around and write a letter up to the Secretary of State for that lien that basically the state has on your property and say, hey, I'm ordering you to release this under my right of restitution.
Okay.
And reconstruction. I want this thing reconstructed back to me.
Okay.
Read the definitions, please.
Yeah, I understand. I just didn't know if I could, who to send this to, the reconstruction for, and you're saying the Secretary of the Treasurer.
Right. In some cases, you have to rethink these things over and again, because basically we've gotten misunderstandings in the process because we didn't see all the words that we needed to look at. Nobody ever really looked at and understood the Reconstruction Acts of that Lincoln tried to put into place. Nobody understood that basically the 13th Amendment was a Reconstruction Act. And then everybody's been out there stating the wrong statement about the 14th Amendment. It didn't do half of what these damn nitwits out here are claiming it did. There was a protectionary item to try and help prevent things, but basically the bankers have utilized it in a fraudulent manner, but they had to wait until they brought insurance into this country in the 1880s and then brought in their banking system in 1913, and then brought in the Social Security system in full effect in 61, even though it was set up in 35. See, not everything is done overnight. They have to slip these things in on the people so that the people don't understand what's going on. And the people can't even read the damn Constitution and know what the hell it says. That's why all these damn senators and congressmen and even presidents are in office more than one term at a time. Because the people can't read. Okay, any other questions on this shit?
Is there a callback-in number to hear the replay?
Tom, you got the callback number?
It's the
Well,
same number.
you can download it off of eConcurrent here in about an hour or so. Tom will have it posted up there then.
Okay.
The
Okay.
number,
Access
the
right
call-
now. That's why I'm calling.
the callback number ends in 58.
Okay.
Really, you should wait until Tom gets it posted. In the meantime, you should be reading those definitions and getting an understanding of them.
How do you spell e-concurrent?
E, the letter E, and then concurrent. Concurrent. Just like it sounds. .com. And then /divine. Not the one up above, but basically the one down here on Earth.
Hey, can I correct you, Patrick? It's not a backslash, it's a /.
Okay, / whatever. A slash something.
Yeah, slash it up.
Makes a difference.
Well, one goes one direction, the other goes the other direction.
Well, one brings up your website and the other one doesn't.
Yeah, basically it'll stop you dead in your tracks.
Yep, that's what happened.
I think / is for your own computer, separation of files, and / is for www.
The one that's tied to the question mark, okay? We'll say it that way.
Very powerful.
Yeah. Just don't hit shift, that button. You'll get the question mark and you still won't get anything.
Okay, everything is in the definition impersonation Rev 2 doc, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or
pretty
not
much,
in
and
the
then
Rev Doc 1.
And then just write this thing up. You can go down and get the stamp made up, and yeah, it'll cost you about $20-some bucks. And basically, it's a self-inking stamp, and basically, I got mine made up yesterday, and I've got a couple IRS bills and a hospital bill, and I've got to turn around and send them back to it. Then I've even got one from a damn third-party debt collector, and I'm going to tell them they're full of shit. I don't have a contract with them. And if they want to process anything, I will take them into a court and charge them for slander and for using my copyrighted name and turn it over to the FBI.
Can you put a public notice out on the third-party debt collectors?
You just take that other document about the FBI warning, you stick one of those things in there, and basically they will run for the hills.
Right.
All right, Patrick, I'm going to do this thing. I'm not going to procrastinate on this.
Okay.
I want to be sure I get all the definitions right and everything.
Yeah, read them and study the definitions, and basically you'll probably take a couple days to get these things fully understood.
Yeah.
This isn't an overnight deal, okay? You've got to have the full understanding before you go and do this, okay? And then you've got to believe it is right in your heart when you do this.
Okay. So I don't need any EIN numbers, stuff like that, right?
You need to get your a state EIN and your foreign grantor trust EIN down the road, okay? Your foreign grantor trust so that you can operate and draw funds out. Your estate EIN so that you basically now stand as a fiduciary over that mortgage account. And then your individual banker in the process, because you're going to have a private bank. And you've got to identify your private bank. And basically then the state has no control over a private bank. But he's an individual banker. He's not a private banker. See, you've got to know the definition between a private banker and an individual banker. And there's a big difference. The state controls private bankers where they have no control over individual bankers.
Gotcha.
And then see, all these persons now become your copyrighted persons. And they're not operating for hire or for profit. Therefore, the IRS cannot tax them because they have no income. Only somebody that is operating for hire or for profit has an income. Even when you work, you're not operating for hire. You're operating for your wages, for your labor payment, an exchangement, a barter in the process. And they can't tax barter.
Question.
Okay.
When you sign this in the blue ink and date it, do you write fiduciary behind your name in blue ink?
I would write fiduciary or individual banker underneath it. Underneath your name. I draw a line. I draw a line for the date. Put date, and then draw a line, and then write the date in, and then say by, and then draw a line, and then sign your name, and then say fiduciary or individual bank / individual banker.
That's in blue ink, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Not an authorized signature?
Huh?
Not an authorized signature?
Fiduciary is an authorized person.
Yeah, just like on a check.
Yeah. So basically, if you say you're the fiduciary, basically you're the authorized person to sign for that guarantor.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
You're the fiduciary.
That's a good one.
Yeah. You're the head MF.
Uh-huh.
And then I've got to reiterate again. A woman's relief is in her dead husband, her father, or her husband.
How so?
Study the book of Ruth, okay? Stop trying to wear the pants out here.
Could you explain that about the dead father?
No, I said the father, a dead husband, or
dead
a husband. Okay, that's your three categories.
Mm.
See, there's more women out here than there are men, okay? That means, basically, when you understand that, what I just said, that means that a man can have more than one wife if he can put up with her or put up with them. Because what he's doing is he's protecting them into his estate. But you women don't want to hear that, so basically...
I do. I want to hear it.
Me too.
I mean, how many did Abraham have? How many did Saul have?
I don't care about that. I just want to know present day what we can do. What if we have a dead father and no husband?
Well, basically, have you ever been married? Okay.
Well, I have been married, but he's gone.
Well, he's dead now. Okay, so
he's
basically
divorced.
Go find another one.
I have a question concerning the returning your receipts back in.
The what?
Returning your receipts in.
Yeah?
You paid for something, you're returning your receipts in. Is there a particular format? I mean, I have like the year's receipts left.
Basically, you just turn in and basically put a claim in to that Kansas City or Finance Center that you're coming in under restitution when you look at the definitions and use this to basically you're coming in to try and start the reconstructive process of your estate.
Okay, so we're not. Okay.
Yeah.
And we stamp.
But when you read the definitions, you will find the word that you or words that you need to use in the process. I guarantee it. They're there.
Patrick, can you go back? Say 5 years on receipts?
You can go back as far as you want, and if you can, Bruce, basically prove that there was some fraud perpetrated in the process.
Well, I mean, if you just have receipts from 5 years ago.
3 years, basically, is about, you get these receipts, like from a cash register machine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you start looking at how they start, after about 3 years, the ink on the paper starts disappearing.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
More like 2 days now.
Yeah, that's trying to tell you something, okay, in the process. Normally 3 years, basically, is you should have had time. But if you can prove fraud out there, and try and get restitution for all the payments you paid in against a mortgage contract out of your back pocket, you can put a claim in for all those payments you made.
How do you prove fraud?
It's easy. They never told you that basically they weren't going to take the letters of credit that you gave them and take the credits and make the payment for the house right off the bat. You paid for that house. You had to, because they have no money. Where'd they get it? They got it from you by letters of credit. You're the source of the funding that made the payment over to the other party. But they did not utilize those credits in the process. They turned around and wrote bonds against it and hid it from you so that they could make a profit, and that's called fraudulent concealment of the contract.
So what you're just saying right now, if I recorded this, it's going to be. I could put together a cover letter along with my receipts from 5 years back, if you can read them, and send them in. And I just, in that cover letter, I'm telling them why they committed fraud.
You're sending this in again into the finance center and letting them go after these guys for the fraud that they perpetrated.
Okay, but I'm explaining.
It all depends on what receipts you have.
Gas receipts,
you got
mortgage
receipts
receipts.
down at the gas station, okay? Down at the gas station. 3 years, and basically put that amount in. You've got 20 years of receipts for the payments you made into the bank. Every one of those was under fraudulent concealment. See, you can prove that one.
Well,
But you
can't
can't
some checks
say
work
that
just as good?
local gas station committed fraud because you were paying for that with a credit card or something. The local gas station doesn't have your Social Security account.
Right.
See, that's the thing. You got to think about these things.
That would also go for VA hospital payments.
Sure.
Yes, basically, the VA, you turn around, everything should have been paid for out of your DD-214 account.
Okay, I still got to get the connectors to that one, but
You've got to get that DD-214, and you've got to get that recorded at the county level and get certified copies of that, and then put your claims in using that certified copy.
I have a certified copy. I have two of them.
Okay, you've got it recorded at the county, right?
No, it's recorded someplace, copy center for the VA, whatever it is.
You've got to take it down to the local county that you're living in and put it into the military discharge book. See, that's a land record. That's a military bounty.
Do I need an
Now
EIN
you can get
for that?
you can get as many free copy, and this is all free. At least here in the state of Iowa it is. I know down Texas it is too. Now some other people are stating that they have a problem with this because basically they don't know how to go in and basically put this across and basically try and go in there and tell the damn people too damn much. And people have never been approached with this before. So you get that recorded into the county military discharge records, and that's a land record because that military DD-214 is a claim against the bounty that was supposed to be paid to you upon your discharge, honorable discharge.
Well, then
But they took the land away from us in the process.
Well, I'm going to go get my money.
Yep.
Listen to the calls that I've done here in the last week and 2 weeks, and then read these documents, okay? Okay. Anybody else?
Well, this has been a Sunday worth spending with you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Anybody else?
Great stuff.
Okay, call tonight, Tom.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right,
Thanks,
Okay.
Patrick.
Okay, good night.
Good night, Patrick. Thank you.